didn't do any homeless jokes. No, we're not going to let him come back next time. Well, our very last comic, I've known my entire life because he's me. And we haven't had a lot of music tonight, and I thought I would give you a little music. Any Beatles fans? Great. Anybody like food? Yeah. Okay, so between those two things, you guys love this song. I should go to Subway, Taco Bell, and KFC have really got me down. I should go to Subway, try to figure out how I have gained 95 pounds. I need to work out. I need to work out. Think of what I'm saying. I'll get sweaty and my muscles, they will all get sore. Think of what I'm saying. If I don't do something soon, I won't fit through my door. I need to work out. I need to work out. Exercise is hard. I got no time for anything but stuffing my face. I have always thought that it's a crime that they sell Twinkies by the case. I should go to Subway. Gotta hope that Jared fellow will not steer me wrong. I should go to Subway, otherwise I fear I'll fall apart before too long. I need to work out. I need to work out. Exercise is hard. I feel just fine, except for this tingling in my left arm. Had 5 heart attacks, the 6th one's free, my doctor says. So really I don't see the harm. I should go to Subway, Taco Bell and KFC have really got me down. Gotta go to Subway, try and figure out how I have gained 95 pounds. I need to work out. I need to work out. Ooh. So I haven't been doing stand-up for very long, and just less than a year really. And when I run into people that I haven't met in a while, and I tell them I'm doing stand-up, I always get the same reaction. Oh, I can never do that. Oh, I can never do that. I'm not sure what the big deal is. I'm just up here talking. Everybody talks. And this way, I'm guaranteed to have the floor for about 10 minutes, which is fantastic. Nobody ever gives me the floor out in the real world for that long. Plus, in all seriousness, I cannot speak for any other stand-up comedians, but I really, really love the sound of my own voice. So, I don't know if you guys are having any fun, but I am having a blast up here, let me tell you. But I got into the world of stand-up. I came in kind of sideways from the world of improv comedy. In fact, I'm on a team here at the Bowline Metropolis Theater, Platypus Surprise. And thank you. Yeah, you go ahead. Okay, right? Don't patronize me. So, when you do an improv, the goal of the improvisational humor is to play right off the top of your head. See, the first thing that comes to your head. The thing is, every stage I've ever played on, there's been some rules about what you could and could not say. In fact, I started doing improv at a church. You want to talk about, there being rules about what you can't say. So there have been far too many scenes where someone has thrown a line at me, and I've been like, okay, I can't say that. Can't say that. I really can't say that. Oh, is the scene over? Oh, okay, sorry. But you got to be careful in the church because they will douse you with holy water. And that stuff burns. Let me tell you from personal experience. But when I would tell people 5 years ago that I was getting into improv, they would say the same thing. Oh, I could never do that. And besides the whole getting up in front of people, which is apparently an issue for some folks, there seems to be this feeling with improv that you have to be ready for anything. If the host asks for an occupation, the audience might say Chinese peasant or Robin Hood or metallurgist, and you'd have to be ready to do it. And in theory, that's how it should work, but in practice, it's never like that. 99 times out of 100, when the host asks an improv audience for an occupation, they say doctor. 99 times out of 100, the host asks for a location, they say Starbucks, and when the host asks for a relationship, they say lovers. So apparently, the American audiences are really, really interested in seeing scenes about doctors at Starbucks that are secret lovers. So, we get to do that a lot. The next time you go to an improv show, whether it's here or elsewhere, but probably here, because this is a good theater for that, try to come up with interesting suggestions. I was at a show once some time ago, and the host asked for an occupation, and a guy in the back shouted, "Transformers!" Which is not technically an occupation, but it was an excellent, thoughtful suggestion. And we had a great alphabet game as Transformers. A couple scenes later, the host asked for a location. This same guy shouted, "Superman's Fortress of Solitude!" Now, this guy was in his late 40s, and I submit that maybe he should think about moving out of his mother's basement. But the point is, he was making excellent suggestions, and we had a great show, partly due to him. So, the thing about improv, there's good and bad. You know, with stand-up, there's homework. I had to write this stuff before I came up here, believe it or not. And with improv, you know, you just do it. You know, there's no homework. You just show up and do the show and play it as it goes. Also, with stand-up, pass or fail, I'm up here by myself. With improv, you get to be part of a team of brilliant, talented people that you can blame if a scene, you know, goes to hell. But the downside is that with improv, improv performers, we have this wonderful game we like to play called Throw Your Fellow Improv Performer Under the Bus. And I'll give you an example. I was playing a game called Superhero Eulogy. The way the game works is the audience picks a name, a weird, unusual name for a superhero. I think our guy was Fruit and Vegetable Man. And the superhero has died, and everybody on the team comes up one by one to speak at his funeral. It's a weird game. It makes sense when you're watching it. But anyway, the first person who comes up introduces the next person who comes after, and whatever they say you are, you have to come out and take it. And my friend Doug was up before me, and I think he was the Star-Spangled Kid. And he turned around and looked at me and he said, "And I now want to bring out Fruit and Vegetable Man's sidekick, Backwards Talking Boy." This is what we call throwing your fellow improv performer under the bus. And I took a moment. We were at a church, so I couldn't make the gesture I wanted to at him. But I took a moment and I got a special grief on my face, and I stepped forward and I said, "Cry, wouldn't I myself promise I?" Because unbeknownst to either Doug or myself, I actually have a fairly decent talent at turning sentences on their head. Not the sort of thing you put on a resume or ever really use to get a date, but it just was an undiscovered talent that we found out about that night. So his attempt to throw me under the bus kind of backfired. Interesting note to that story is a couple shows later, he and I were in the same game, and I went out first, and he was not quite as good at turning his sentences backwards as some people are. So, karma being the bitch that it is. But as I said, I'm new to stand-up, and I want to try. I'm certainly going to make enough mistakes of my own. I want to try to learn from the mistakes of others. So I go to comedy work shows, go to shows around town, try to pick things up. And I have learned a couple things. The last comedy work show that I was at, first of all, for a host, you need to have a shtick. And, you know, I've been doing my best out here. The guy that was hosting that show had nothing at all but round of applause. He's like, "Hey, I'm glad you're here. Let's have a round of applause for all the comedians that are coming out tonight. Hey, wasn't that guy great? Let's give him a round of applause. Is your waitstaff doing a good job? Be sure to tip him, but first, give him a round of applause." After an hour, I was like, "Okay, my hands are bleeding. Can you say round of applause one more time? I'm going to give you a round of dope slap upside your head." The other thing I learned, a woman can tell a date rape joke and get a laugh. A man cannot. I wouldn't think anybody would have to tell a man this, but this guy, no one had ever told him. And when his first, I'm not making any of this up, when his first date rape joke keeled over on the stage floor, he went right ahead and told a second one. At which point we kind of started to turn on him. And I guess realizing that he was losing us, he thought, "Oh, I better bring out my A material." And I'm still not making this up. He started telling a story about putting his dog to sleep. And at that point, I think management had had enough. They're like, "Let's get this guy off stage." You've all seen the vaudeville shows where they get the giant hook out, hook people off the stage. It's 2012. They have tranquilizer darts now. So management drank this guy from off stage. He took the dart, fell to the ground, which ironically earned him his biggest laugh of the night, as well as a round of applause. And with that joke, we are just about done with the very first stand-up and deliver. And I hope you've had fun. I hope you join me in giving let's do something auditory with your bodies to thank the comedians that have come up tonight. Should have thought about that ahead of time. And just to close things out, because you've been such an incredibly wonderful audience, I feel like you deserve it. I want to sing another song for you. This is one I appropriated from Mr. Billy Joel, and it's about what it's like, that I now know personally, what it's like to do stand-up at your local bar. I don't whistle so good. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. The regular crowd mills about. There's an old man sitting way in the back who just screams, "Hey, get funny or get out!" He goes on, "Make sure you don't quit your day job now. This comedy thing's not for you. Yeah, I ain't seen someone die so bad on stage since the last Carrot Top show came through." Oh, la da da, waka waka, la da diddy har, dee har. Tell us some jokes, you're the stand-up guy. Sing a song, make sure it rhymes. 'Cause we're all dealing with this economy. We ain't laughed in a really long time. Ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Now I got me a pretty good manager. We all call him Steely-Eyed Jake. He's real glad to see me, which he well ought to be. He takes half of the money I made. He said, "Will, that last joke was a total bomb," as the smile runs away from my face. "Kid, I'm sure you could headline at Comedy Works if you had any timing or pace." Oh, la da da, take my wife, please. La da, diddy, where's the beef? Tell us some jokes, you're the stand-up guy. Sing a song, make sure it rhymes. 'Cause we still got 4 months of election and we ain't left in a really long time. Now come close, I'll tell you a secret about every stand-up comic alive. Do I even need mention? We just want the attention we did not receive when we were 5. So I'll throw out some jokes about politics, airline food, my ex-girlfriend's 5 cats. If I don't figure out this here comedy, I'm left with, do you want fries with that? Oh, la da da, that's what she said. La da diddy, who's on first? Tell us some jokes, you're the stand-up guy. Sing a song, make sure it rhymes. 'Cause we all gotta drive on I-25. We ain't laughed in a really long time. It's a good, pretty crowd for a Sunday night, but the manager still wears a frown. 'Cause it's his greatest fear that you'll all disappear the next time Justin Bieber's in town. And that cute waitress still will not flirt with me, 'cause she knows I don't make any dough. Sometimes they'll comp your drink, but they still sit and think, get the darts, 'cause this guy's gotta go. Oh, why the chicken cross the road now? You know where I'm going, sing it with me. To get to the other side. Tell us some jokes, you're the stand-up guy. Sing a song, please make it rhyme. 'Cause Tim Tebow's playing for the New York. We ain't left in a